Okay, to start off your artichokes with Bearnaise sauce, you need these items, which is 2 good size artichokes, these Italian seasonings, and the Knorr Bearnaise sauce, which you will just follow the directions on the back while the artichokes are steaming. Okay, I'm getting ready to trim out the artichoke. What I'll be doing is cutting off this tail end, and then I will be cutting off I guess the top you'd call it. I like to pull back a couple of the leaves and then start cutting there, and you cut straight down. That will look like that. And that's with the crown off. I like to use a bread knife to cut this off, and you also want to turn it as you're cutting. It makes it a little bit easier. You just turn it, keep turning it as you cut it like that. And cut and cut and cut. Okay. Okay, so I filled up the pot with water. As you can see, it's right up to the edges of the little steamer dish. And you can see they're just kind of nudging into each other, kind of slightly off balance, just so they fit there correctly. And what I'm going to do now is add a bunch of this Italian seasoning. And you really can put it on top, you can let it go in the water, you can put a whole bunch in there. Then I put the top on. Get it centered on the burner. In my case, I bring it up to all the way up there. A little later, I'll turn it back down to the 8, but I put it on high now to get it started. And then I start my timer. Alexa, set a timer for 45 minutes.
45 minutes, starting now.
And then I set a timer for 15 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes.
Second timer, 15 minutes, starting now.
And then I set a third timer. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes.
Third timer, 30 minutes, starting now.
That reminds me to put extra water in if necessary. Then I get a measuring cup, fill it with water. Put it on the side of the stove. And that's done for now. So it looks like that. Okay, so now while the artichokes are cooking, I'm going to start the Bearnaise sauce, which, as you can see, I've already turned on the heat. What you're going to do is put a cup of milk in, which is the recipe on the back of the package. And then you're going to take a wire whisk. You're going to put this stuff in there. Yay! Okay, did I get all of it? Yeah. And you're just going to whisk it around so it's all mixed in. And as the milk starts getting warmer, then you're going to put in a half a stick of butter, which I didn't unravel to begin with, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the butter unraveled. I wish I'd done that first. And what you do is you just wait to just keep stirring, and you get it where it becomes a sauce. That's what its job is. You don't want it to boil though, so you're going to be very careful about that. So keep stirring it, because this is what's going to make or break your artichoke. And I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. So I've got it like on whatever that is, I can't, 6 or so, medium high heat until it melts the butter. I think I'm going to try this the other way. Here we go. So after you get all that done and starts to thicken up a little bit and the butter's all melted, then you're just going to put the lid back on it and stick it to the back of the stove. Okay, as you can see, it's turning into a nice creamy sauce. And what you'll do, as I said before, cover it up and take it to the back of the stove. You'll eventually heat it up one more time just before you're going to serve it. Another thing you can do after you make the sauce and everything's cooking and you're waiting for that first timer to go off is set up your small plate with a little bowl for the Bearnaise dressing. And I mentioned a grapefruit spoon. That's what they look like, which I'll show you later how to use. And I know these don't match, but I don't care. So Alexa's about to go off for the first 15 minutes. Alexa, stop. I'm going to go over and check your water. And it looks like we're still okay. So I'm going to turn my heat down just a bit. And we'll wait to the next 15 minutes to see if I need to add water after that, which I will. Okay, so I decided to check on this because there's a little bit more water than I normally put in. So I'm going to add up 2 cups of water to this right now. And that should about do it for the rest of the time it's going to be on. My 30-minute timer is just going to go off and I'm going to ignore it now because I put this extra water in. So it'll come back to boil and it'll be just fine. Okay. Okay, so I put the Bearnaise sauce back on the burner for just a minute or two just to warm it up. And I'm going to pour it into the serving bowls. You don't need much. This should last you a couple times. Whoops. This is hard to do. Let's try this again. All right. So you only need about that much in each bowl. It won't be as sloppy as I am. Okay. And you want to put the Bearnaise sauce back in the refrigerator after it cools down because you can save it for like 30 days. Again, read the back of the package. You know all this stuff that I know. Okay, so now we got about 30 seconds left before the artichokes are done. I like to use tongs to take them out. And that way you don't get burned, and you can also spread the leaves apart a little bit. Let me see how much time we got left here. Oh, got a minute left. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, here's the countdown. Alexa, stop. And we're going to come back over to the stove here. Turn it off. Make sure everything's off. Off, off, off. Very, very hot steam. So, I move it off the burner so it stops cooking, obviously. And we take it out. Shake all the water out. And very carefully, we take it over here and put it on the plate. And of course we do that twice because there's 2 of us. Now I take the tongs and sort of pull the leaves apart. Helps to get a hold of them and where it's not too hot. Okay, so they are ready to eat. Now I'm going to go get my significant other, and we're going to show you how to use them, how to eat them. Well, we got everything served at the table. The one thing I did forget to do was get a bowl out, because that's where you're going to put the used leaves. And you're going to line that with one of those, I call it Winn-Dixie bag, Publix plastic bag. That way you just wrap it up and throw it away. So that should be here any second now.
I got it. I'm
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I may cut this part out because it's taken way too long. All right, there we go. It ain't pretty, but it's does the trick. So now Mike is going to show you how to eat. Show us the leaf after you finish doing it.
Oh, sorry, I was just starting my feeding
Yeah,
frenzy.
dunk, and then
Leaf, you look for that part,
there you go.
dip it, scrape your bottom teeth, scrape the good stuff off, leave the bad stuff.
Right. Or you can use your top teeth, whichever. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let you just keep doing that, and I'll come back when we're back towards the part where you're gonna have to do something different. Mike has something important to say.
The edible meat on each leaf gets more as you get to the inside of the artichoke. The outside ones, just give them a quick skim, and they get better as you get inside until you get to the heart.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be right back. When you get down to where you don't want to eat any more off the leaves, this is what you're going to do. As you can see, he's gonna, take all that extra off. And it's very, very hot. You always keep that in mind. It's very hot.
No shit.
No cursing. This is.
Yes, dear.
See, I keep eating those leaves, but he doesn't. It's just all a matter of preference. Now you see this little, I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. You see that? That's what the hair of the thing I was telling you about. So, and you can see there's actually a cut line, if you will, that you can follow with this with the grapefruit spoon. You see how he's just staying right under where the hair root is, and he's picking the whole thing off because you really don't want to eat that part of it.
There, I gotta dig underneath. That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm. All right, then you put all that extra stuff in this bag. Got a little bit of hair left on there.
I know.
All right, I was just making sure you knew. Okay, now you just cut it up any which way you want to, and you dip it in the sauce, and you eat the heart.
And don't have to share this part.
You don't have to share this part. Move your hand. There you go. Yum. And that's all there is to it. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.